I want to cover another segment, especially when we can actually talk about this in two parts, like women in technology or women in cyber itself. And you even having your background from the military, I'm interested in how that experience, equipped you, into like your transition, or even today, how you feel about, say, women in our space and cyber.
Well, I love women in this space. It's more are needed.
Yeah.
The military is obviously still male dominated, and tech tends to be male dominated as well. Um, the problems that we see in the military are often not the same problems that we see in the technical industry. Again, that's sort of because the military is your whole life.
Yeah.
So the problems that I might see as a leader in the military, I have to go get someone out of jail for a DUI.
Yeah.
I have to help someone escape an abusive relationship or something like that. That's not necessarily the same thing because usually the problems within the tech industry are not that dire.
That
Occasionally that'll be happening, right? But it just depends on, again, how close you are with your team, if you even would know about
know that, yes.
going on. But um, the confidence I think that you gain from being the only woman in the room for so long. I remember going into some meetings in the Pentagon where I'd look around and it would be 30, 35 people, and there'd be one other woman in the room, and you'd like,
You
do
look
a
at each
wave
other
like, hello.
like, hey.
You've never met them before, but it's like, oh, this is great. Um, we kind of joke about it, but that became routine. That became de rigueur. And so when you walk into a room then in the tech industry, which can also be super intimidating, I think,
Absolutely.
especially if you're new, but once you've done it so many times, it's just okay, this is the way things go. And I know how to operate in this environment. I know how to speak out. One thing I always do is sit at the table.
Um,
I mean, in it doesn't happen in tech as much, but sometimes there's a table and then there's seats around the edge. Just I always sit at the table. It's
Absolutely.
a part of the conversation, right? Um, yeah, I think other than that, there's not really any secrets.